This is a 1926 Crosley radio model 4-29, and it is a 2-dialer. Got 2 tank circuits in this radio. It's also a regenerative circuit. That's the center bottom knob that pulls out and pushes in, and what that does is it moves a tickler coil closer to a tank circuit. And the top knob above the Crosley plate, that is the rheostat that controls the voltage to the filaments of the 4-01As in this radio. At the very top of this radio is a wood cover, and in this picture it's slightly ajar, but it does lay flat. Here I've removed the wooden cover, and it's amazing that it's still with the radio because it just sits on top. But here you can see the 4-01As that are inside this radio. Now here's a view of the label that is on the bottom of this radio. Here I have removed the bottom of the radio, and the front of the radio is at the bottom of this picture. And this is the wiring diagram for this radio. Now this part is the antenna coil and the first tank circuit. And if we go back to the picture of the bottom of the radio, that's these 2 items right here. Now this second tank circuit is these 2 items. And the tickler coil and a capacitor are these 2 items right here. And you can see that that tickler coil is pushed all the way in, and the closer that tickler coil gets to the other coil, the more positive feedback is given to the circuit. And of course, if you overdo it, it will start oscillating. Now back to the circuit, and these 2 are the audio transformers, intermediate stages for this radio, and they are right here. The problem that this radio has is the left tuning knob, which is the first tank circuit, is not functioning, and here's a demo of the problem. Here's a closer look at that first tank circuit, and I notice right away that there's some corrosion, which means that that might need to be reheated. I took the coil off the holder to get a better look at it, and I still had the radio hooked up to the power, and I measured voltages, and I got plate voltage on this first tube So I turned off the power and then read ohms, and as I was poking around, I hit this wire and it just moved away from the variable capacitor. So these two connections, even though the bottom one seems to be good, I'm going to clean both of these and resolder them, which I have done here, and I put the coil back on. And before I put the bottom on this, I'm going to do a quick test to make sure that that variable capacitor or the first tank circuit is now functioning. And here's a quick demo.
Trying to win a championship with only offense, no defense. So we know we need insurance, but how can we be sure we're getting the best deal? For example, on life insurance, long-term care, or disability insurance. Well, the key to getting a good deal on anything is getting as many quotes as possible. With our technology as independent agents, it's easy to put it up hundreds of insurance products and then click of a button. Of course, our independent will eventually become great offers, and you never want to do this.
Now I've put the radio completely back together, and I have chosen a very weak station to tune in so you can see that the first tank circuit is now functioning properly. Well, I'm glad it was an easy fix. Thanks for watching.